acknowledge the Kanaka Maoli, the native people of this land and surrounding seas. And we would also like to acknowledge partners of the Celebrating Micronesian Voices Festival, which are Barbara B. Smith Endowment for East-West Center Micronesian Focused Programs, Bishop Museum, Pacific Islands Development Program. Yes, thank you for the claps. East-West Center, Center for Pacific Island Studies at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, Hawaii Council for the Humanities, National Endowment for the Humanities, and Aloha Care. We also have some co-sponsors such as JSS by Design, Ethnic Education Hawaii, Hawaii Coalition for Immigrant Rights, which Austin works for, and Celebrating Micronesian Voices Storytelling co-sponsors, Jeffrey and Lynn Watanabe, Esther Kwan Arinaga, and Susan Arinaga Lee. It is so special to introduce this portion of the event, as it will include poets from the community and recently published student authors in the afternoon who write about the complexity of their respective Micronesian identities. This stage offers a more intimate opportunity, as it is a little bit smaller, to connect with powerful Micronesian voices who you may know or you may not know. And we invite you to navigate their journeys with them as they bring their stories to life. I will now invite Dave Ruhr from Palau and a PhD candidate at UH Manoa to the stage to introduce our opening Ambassador Naich.
Thank you, Martina. Good morning, everybody. Let's give a round of applause to all the performances that has happened so far today. It's pretty cool. For this phase, we have more very special guests. We're going to have chanting from Chuk and then poetry from the Mariana Islands from Hawaii. So our first guest that I'm going to introduce is our opening storyteller. Is the distinguished Ambassador James Naich, who is a citizen of the Federated States of Micronesia. And he's coming up to the stage with help from Martina. He served in the foreign service of his country for 30 years, beginning during the critical stages of his emergence in the international community and as an independent nation. A veteran of both bilateral and multilateral diplomacy, he served as Deputy Chief of Mission in the Fosun Embassy in Tokyo for 8 years. He served in a similar capacity in Washington, D.C. for almost 18 years. He is recently brought back to the Fosun Department of Foreign Affairs in his new capacity as consultant to the Secretary. His primary responsibility is to provide capacity building or training to the foreign service officers in the department. His second responsibility is to provide advice to the Honolulu Consulate on selected matters and to the other FSM consulates in Guam and Portland as may be mutually agreed upon. Please welcome Ambassador Naich, his nephew Isaac, who will be up shortly. And they're also going to have some dancers too, so yeah, we'll look for that. So let's give a big round of applause for Ambassador Naich.
I thank David for the kind introduction. Yes, my name is James Naich. I am from Chuk, the Federated States of Micronesia. We've been having fun the last few days with the convening of the Pacific Festival of Arts and Culture. This is the largest gathering of its kind held here in Hawaii. And it brings thousands of delegates and performers from across the Pacific Islands. The 13th FISPAC, I understand, is about to be wrapped up. But we're very grateful that the Celebrate Micronesian Festival is part of it. But something has to be added. And I need not tell you, because it is just the Micronesian way. The last dance is always The best dance is always saved to the last. And the Micronesian festival is our last dance. So we will enjoy it as we have under the big tent over there. I am going to talk about a term called Fosun Winimataw. Fosun Winimataw. Because it is a very much part of our Micronesian culture. And it is a part of our culture that is beginning to fade away and may disappear altogether if we're not careful. But what is Fosun Winimataw? Fosun Winimataw. It simply means talk of the sea. Fosun Winimataw means talk of the sea. It is the language of the people who live on the sea and by the sea. Remataw are the people who live on the sea and by the sea. Remataw is the word in Chugis as well as in the several dialects in the other islands of Chuk in Yap. Other islands in Yap. So that's the word we use, Remataw. But that it means people of the sea. I want to thank the Bishop Museum for collaborating and hosting this Micronesian festival every year for the past several years now. I began joining it last year, and I'm very grateful that they offer me this space again. Bishop Museum, East West Center, the Pacific Island Development Program. I want to thank them for this opportunity to share stories. Thank you, and thank also all the donors to the Micronesian Festival. Thank you for bringing us all together under one roof like a big Micronesian family. We gather to celebrate the tradition that defines us as Micronesians. We acknowledge and embrace our similarities, and at the same time, let's not deny our differences, because those differences serve as the basis of the strength in our diversity. They also serve as the basis of our consciousness as Micronesians. Now, we are here to celebrate our Micronesian heritage and our Micronesian consciousness, without which we may lack the compass to navigate our way home in these increasingly stormy seas. Let us be steady and hold tightly onto our consciousness as proud, respectful, and resilient Micronesians, proud and secure in our knowledge of who we are. Let me pay my respect to all of our distinguished guests and to each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for lending your presence that adds grace to the Micronesian festival. So again, what is Fosun Winimataw? What's in it for us? Why is it important for us Micronesians? Let me share with you some elements of Fosun Winimataw. We are fortunate to have some of our folk or acknowledged or full-fledged navigators. I am very honored to recognize, he's somewhere around here, my brother, Pascas, Mark, my other brother, Larry Ragatow, my other brother, Isaiah Yaroving. Let me begin by suggesting that the preamble of the Constitution of the Federated States of Micronesia is a Fosun Winimataw. It is a Fosun Winimataw because it succinctly states who we are. I have seen the preambles of other Micronesian constitutions, and they have a similarity. They make inferences and references to Fosun Winimataw. Allow me to quote relevant parts of the FSM Constitution preamble because that defines who we are. I quote, "To make one nation of many islands, we respect the diversity of our cultures. Our differences enrich us. The seas bring us together. They do not separate us. Our islands sustain us. Our island nation enlarges us and makes us stronger. Our ancestors who made their home on these islands displaced no other people. Micronesia began in the days when man explored seas in rafts and canoes. Our island nation is born in an age when men voyage among stars. Our world itself is an island. And with our Constitution, we who have been wards of other nations become proud guardians of our own islands now and forever." End of quote. Fosun Winimataw is not just words. For us islanders, Fosun Winimataw is not about cultural renaissance or cultural revival. It's about survival. More than semantics, Fosun Winimataw is a code of conduct that helps us tell what is right from what is wrong. It strengthens our sense of community belonging, and responsibility. It deepens our respect for authority, our elders, and our ancestors. Fosun Winimataw strengthen our reverence for the sky, for the land and for the sea. In Micronesia, the sea is getting increasingly turbulent. We're going through cultural change, cultural revolution. Deeply rooted in our island cultures, Fosun Winimataw offers us a shield that helps us maintain our self-identity and to make us resilient and be humble. Why should we disown our water in life? When I was a young man, I became sick, and there was an elder lady from the island of Uman, Fosun, who came and applied traditional medicine on me. One day, she lay down beside me after she massaged me and hummed along a classic Chugi song. I never forgot one line from her song. That line was like, "Hey, Theodore, era selin manaw, ibo kawats, ibo kantori, very. Hand me the rope of life so that it will show me how to go back home." That is Fosun Winimataw. It shows you how to get back home, who you are. I just alluded to another element of Fosun Winimataw. It is called rap. Knowledge and wisdom do not grow on the leaves of wild plants. Dig deeper beneath the trunk of an aged breadfruit tree, and you would see wisdom and knowledge, not on the surface of the soil, but far deep within. Fosun Winimataw leads you there. Whether on land or at sea, you must know your roots. For island people, Fosun Winimataw helps them trace our roots. We must know the turns and twists of our roots of where we came from. That's why Fosun Winimataw is not just for the navigators. It's for all of us. Those who live on the sea and who live along the sea, including those who live across the sea. We must know who we are. If we do not know our wrap or the trunk of an aged breadfruit tree, then we're just like little sails in a vast ocean, drifting aimlessly. Respect and embrace your wrap. Rematan people. Again, we started on defining who are Rematan people. These are people from the sea, people who live along the sea and who love the sea. They are salty feet people, meaning they come in from the sea and they are not afraid to say that they are Pajasaset or salty feet. They are proud of it. Our humility is our strength, not a sign of subservience. Do not mistake that. But as we sail away, wherever our Micronesian passports take us, let us carry in the inner sanctum of our hearts our Fosun Winimataw. American Express has the saying or advertisement, don't leave home without it. I'm telling you that before American Express started with that, we Micronesians have always said, don't leave home without your Fosun Winimataw. And don't leave home without your very, very well. Now that's another word. Very, very well. What is very, very well? If my brothers, Ragitan, Pascas, and Isaiah are here, they will tell me. Very, very well is the island in Micronesia that you depart from without leaving behind. You see where American Express borrowed their advertisement. Don't leave home without Federated, because Federated is the island that you depart from and you look back, you stand on the deck of a sailing canoe or a ship, you look back and okay, I'm leaving my island. Because it appears receding backward. But for Micronesians, they don't leave behind their family. Because wherever they go, Portland, Oregon, Kansas City, Missouri, Corsicana, Texas, their family is in their heart. Family guides them. Even when they sit by the river of Babylon or by Lake Geneva, they carry with them their family. But things are happening. Things are happening. We are concerned. Out-migration, increased out-migration is taking place. Further triggered or exacerbated by climate change or for the demand for job opportunities, better health care, things like that. Even dual citizenship may add its fair share. But I appeal to you, to us, to continue carrying our federal will in our hearts. Wherever we go, how far, no matter how far, let's not forget our federal will that we leave behind. Our federal will includes some of our islands like Unity and Fajita, Angol and Kulana, Rory and Rola, Seiper and Chinion, Tuyam, Kilibert or Kilbert Islands and Phoenix Islands, Nauru, Pingalap and Mokila, Namalu and Orolu, and not the least, Pada, Tupunion, Pole, and Oresan. Let's not forget our with a round of applause. Yes, I appeal to all of us that in checking the course of Matalto or in sailing far to far oceans, may it be our collective consciences and commitment not to leave our respective family behind, because our family is our identity. Is it important to have identity? I've heard people saying, you're in America, you're in Europe, you're in Asia. Never mind your island identity. I oppose that. I challenge that. Without identity, we will just be thrown in a boiling kettle or a large pot, melt along with the other ingredients, where we become nameless, faceless, what have you, that we become nothing. So let's hold on to our identity as islanders. Let's hold on to our Micronesian consciousness. Even navigators must have a sense of their origin, so that they know who they are and who to accord respect, as well as to receive tribute properly. Giving respect and receiving respect is a core practice of the tradition of traditional voyaging. Now, that concludes my talk on Fosun Winimataw. But I have also a very special assignment. Last night, I laid in bed and a lady woke me up, came to my apartment and gently pulled my leg and woke me up. She asked me to look for her husband because before leaving, he informed her, I am going to the land of rainbow. And that man is himself rainbow. And he knew that his fellow seafarers are in the land of rainbow. Rainbow for us is the patron saint for seafarers. When you see rainbow, you are among navigators. So, the name of the lady who came to see me last night to send me on an errand to remind her husband that take care of these navigators because they are your responsibility. So I didn't want to see again to see Larry Ragatan, Pascas, Mark, Isaiah, Narokin. So I want to pay tribute because this lady from the homestead of Warian, a place called Leharu, she asked me to recite an old chant. It's a two-part chant. A tribute to all of us as people living or people on the sea and along the sea. And he wanted me to share the tribute with the fellow seafarers. This is a chant when just before you leave on a long distance journey, you have to chant it to see blessing of an immersion. The chant goes like this. Attirow, 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 Avirawe, Hai the Sabu, Hai the Fara, Hey Variao, Hai, Vai, Viliamalani, Viliamalaras, Hey Faripedo, Hanimanwai, Vai, Puerto, Vai, Puerto, Ado, Vai, Vai, Hello, bus. Ay puela, ay puma, ay rani, ma fani pedo. Pero bueno, ay, ay, puedo, ay, puedo, bueno, ay. Ando, ay, ay, The second part. Everydo ay way masaran kunda mga saran do ligin taman ay way ko siguro. Everydo ay way masaran kunda mga saran do ligin taman ay way ko siguro. Ipoli masana ay daw. Everydo ay way masaran kunda mga saran do ligin taman ay way ko siguro. About that, why, the sorrow for love, over cow, over little, Federated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador Naich. Let's have another round of applause for that amazing storytelling and chanting performance. Thank you. So thank you, Ambassador Naich, for that powerful opening and for reminding us of the importance of passing on traditions to the generations that come after us. So while Ambassador Naich goes back to his seat, I'm going to introduce the next artist, who is Randizia Crisostomo from Wuhan. So Randizia Crisostomo, she, her, familiar, Bezong and Cabeza, and I apologize if I mispronounce your words, is a Chamorro daughter, artist, and educator born and raised in Wuhan with ancestral roots also from the island of Luta in Ruta. She is a fourth-year PhD student at UH Manoa, studying indigenous politics in the Department of Political Science. Just recently, Dizia was humbled by the opportunity to illustrate the front cover of Funach's zine titled Voices of the Chamorro Diaspora. Funachu is a Guahan-based indigenous media project that challenges colonialism by bringing critical narratives to the masses through podcasts, videos, interviews, and creative Chamorro content from around the Marianas, Micronesia, and the Pacific. Please give a big warm welcome for Dizia.
Test, test. I'm here. One moment, because I'm putting this small mic on. Okay. So just want to see everyone. Can everyone hear me? Okay, had to adjust the mic for us. Short names up here. Okay. So hapadays and buenas todos hamzu. Daan ho si Randizia Crisostomo, Familian Bezons and Cabeza. Zain Kapili, Zain Katson on my Nana's side. This is actually my first time sharing poetry today ever. I first want to acknowledge and just thank you to Dr. Mary for providing me with this opportunity to share my poetry out loud. Also for the Bishop Museum and everyone here too, many of the families who made their ways out here across Oceania, across our ancestral and also Kin Islands. And so today I will actually be reading a story, and it's also a letter that I wrote for my Nana, Josephina Flores Crisostomo, who raised me growing up. And this letter is also going to many of our ancestors who have since COVID and also up to now are still we're currently seeing them pass on. It's also a love letter to families as well in Palestine, and recognizing the passing of many children, mothers, elders as well. So also being grounded with them in this space. So my poem, or I should say my love letter, is called Return to Guinaiza. And because this is a letter, of course, to my Nana and to also mothers, grandmothers, our aunties, and those who have raised us, especially within chosen families, I just want everyone, whenever I do say Guinaiza, or when I just take a pause, please take a pause with me. Imagine you reading or hearing a love letter, or just an exchanging story between you and your mother too, right? The way that they pause and wait for you to respond. If you need to feel your body when I say arms, legs, take that moment to just feel with yourself. I'm also very water and I'm very really person, so return to Guinaiza. Guinaiza bundled within the intimate grasp of Ye Manyaina, our elders. Swaddled she lays, cooing, gently caressed Inani. Munga mamalafa I Guinaiza Manyaina Zanifamaguan, our elders and our children and our future children after them. Because back and forth, the warmth of our Tautau Motna sway. We pulse with each other. We embrace each other skin to skin. We keep each other close so that we recognize each other even in our dreams. Our Tautau Motna pinch our stomachs. De'un itadanya. Our arms, our calves, our memories, hinasin mommy. They leave, they return, but we're always able to trace marks of consciousness upon our bodies of them. Return to Guinaiza. Let their presence be known. Somo Gorai, Somo Halai. This is a returning of their Guinaiza. Back and forth, the warmth of our Guinaiza sways, weaving centuries of survival through the oceans, trenches, and into Itasi, the ocean, Itano, the land, Ani Airi, which extends into our essence with one another. And this is a returning of Winaisa. And I would also like to wrap that poetry up, but also dedicating it to my Nana as well. Thank you, Zea Nauta.
Performers, two more ladies from Guam, and I'm going to introduce the next one. So our next storyteller and poet is Zea Nauta. She is Familian Kotla and Kalaidi. Was born and raised in the villages of Santa Rita, Jonah, and Sumai, the island of Kohan in the Mariana Islands. As an indigenous Chamorro, she came to Hawaii in 2016 to learn from Kanaka Maoli and be an ally in the movements of food sovereignty, cultural revitalization, decolonization, and reclamation. Zea has been working in education, conservation, and agriculture, nourished and molded by Aina, especially the Aina of He'ea and Mauna Loa of Hawaii. She loves connecting with the art ancestors by learning, working the land, writing poetry and music, and creating art. Let's give a big warm welcome to Zea.
Afade, Attirow, Kasalelia, Ali, Lenwo, Yakwe, Maori, and Rananim. I want to say Mesulang to Dave for that beautiful introduction. And Undok Lunasiduos Maasi to Dr. Mary Hattori and everyone at PIDP for hosting and holding this space in which we can celebrate Micronesia. Okay. I'm going to share a couple of poems today. The first one I wrote specifically for Celebrate Micronesia. So I'm going to be reading off my phone. But I wrote it because often in our storytelling and in our poetry, in our art, we tend to linger in our pain. And we have to, you cannot heal it if you don't feel it. And I'm here to, and I think all of us are here to celebrate Micronesia. We have to get through that pain and feel joy again. I think that's what our ancestors wanted for us. So this is for us. I'm going to share two poems, so this is number one. And it was also inspired by listening to, he's from Kona, Spencer, I forgot his name, but he is Rematau, and I learned that word from him in that conference, so I was inspired by him. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea, from volcanic grandmothers to great-grandfatherly reefs. Basalt in our bones, salt water in our veins, the skies in our eyes, our muscles, soil, and rain. We are descendants of the sea. We are children of the land. We're birthed by lava on the seafloor, eruptions of womb, crust, and core. Cooled and hardened by the Father Ocean, conceived through loving elemental emotion. We are islands to atolls, eroded by energies of the earth. Tectonic colliding and dividing, the aftershock of afterbirth. Our spines are archipelagos, strong enough to carry thousands of years of evolution. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. 70% water, our bodies and our planet, our veins currents ever flowing with DNA in transit. Salt settled in our blood, heartbeats pumping waves, tidal changes, ebbs and flows, our genealogy's freeways for migration. Our love is deeper than the Marianas Trench. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. Our muscles made of coconut, taro, sweet potato, and breadfruit. We are grounded in Mother Earth, her hereditary roots. our skin dark as deep jungles, bodies fertile soil and seed, altruistic ancestral abundance more than enough to feed generations. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. Our communities are coral reefs, thousands of years in the making, colorful and complex, thriving and co-creating. Someone is calling me. Our villages, jungle ecosystems with rich understories, socially symbiotic, steadfast yet migratory. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. The winds in our voices softly singing to sails, to trade winds and dreams, our breaths, breezes exhaled. We are hurricanes and typhoons, sometimes cyclones and monsoons. We are the strongest storms on the face of the earth. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. Our minds marked in the sky, maps, memories, constellations, navigational narrow pathways of seafaring generations. As children of the land and descendants of the sea, to navigate our ocean is to navigate our bodies. We are one with every island, current, wind, and wave. Adapting to ever-changing conditions is the only way we exist. We are children of the land and descendants of the sea. Foreigners thought they knew our land, but couldn't understand our sea. They could not comprehend our immensity, so they minimized us to Micronesia. Because none of their words could fathom the depths of the ocean of ourselves. Yet the only thing microscopic was their eyesight and logic. They saw islands in a far sea when we're actually an ocean of connectivity. So whenever someone tries to minimize our immensity, we look to the ocean of ourselves to reclaim our identity. Because we are not just children of the land and descendants of the sea. We are the land. We are the sea. You can see my hand shaking up here. I get a good shake out of that. Okay, now this one, I've shared it once before, and I'm happy to share it again. It's called Creative Destruction, and it's, a step back, not just Micronesia, but Pacifica and indigenous peoples in general. How we are constantly recreating ourselves from the rubble of the struggle. And this is our story, our collective story as Micronesia, Pacifica, indigenous Earth. An ending, destruction, beginning, creation. We left the famine and the slaughters in canoes that carved uncharted waters, searching for somewhere to settle our seafaring souls. Every new island was a creation story. The struggle to survive eventually metamorphosized into societies that thrived for thousands of years. Connected by the sea, canoes that moved freely, that wove our creation stories together in our sails. Trading, learning, loving, growing by the winds and the currents, our culture was flowing, reaching one another and lands unknown, always to improve the technologies at home. We were scientists. Dying men drifted to our shores. They were gifted water, food, and a chance at life. But they raised their guns and knives because we took what was owned. Reciprocity. They came back with a vengeance and their godly intentions to convert us savages while their disease ravages our bodies and beliefs beyond recognition. Hundreds of years under their flags, by our long hair we're dragged to have our native tongues ripped. In holy water we're dipped, drowning in their manifest destiny. Lands desecrated and defaced, we're marginalized by race, so we're easily displaced and our histories erased until we are assimilated. An ending, destruction, beginning, creation. Our ancient world destroyed, but ancestral knowledge still employed to create a better future that looks like our past, starting with our present. No longer are we eating off of their shelves. We are farming again. We are feeding ourselves. We are restoring our lands, bare feet and bare hands, restoring our waters for our sons and daughters, uniting Pacifica in one single canoe to remind the world of what islanders can do. We are destroying the systems they imposed upon us to create new ones that we can trust. This is not just decolonization. This is reclamation. In our languages we sing, our ancestors we bring into this new age of renaissance to fulfill our needs and wants as the indigenous peoples of these islands. We are still here, wielding creative spears that will destroy the colonization and reclaim our nations so future generations know our true history. An ending, destruction, beginning, creation. Also have to keep ourselves in check though, okay, with our white privilege. Anyway, Chamali, birthed in 2014. I notice how I often confuse people because I am a white girl eating kadu, a white girl going fishing for tarakitu, a white girl selling a tulay at the flea market, a white girl getting an A in Chamorro class, a white girl who hates haoles, and a Chamorro girl speaking English, a Chamorro girl wearing Hollister and Abercrombie, a Chamorro girl listening to Sum 41 and Fall Out Boy, a Chamorro girl using MAC makeup and brushes, a Chamorro girl who loves watching One Tree Hill, a Chamorro girl going to university, a Chamorro girl with hazel eyes, a white girl starting to speak Chamorro, a white girl going to Fanyinyi at her grandma, a white girl making finadeni and Keliguin, a white girl born and raised in Guahan, a Chamorro girl dancing the wobble, a Chamorro girl with ancestors from England and Germany. Yeah, I am a Chamorro girl eating kadu, a Chamorro girl going fishing for tarakitu, a Chamorro girl selling a tulay at the flea market, getting a 100% A in Chamorro class, a Chamorro girl who hates haoles, and a white girl speaking English, a white girl wearing Hollister, listening to Sum 41 and Fall Out Boy, a white girl who loves watching One Tree Hill, a Chamorro girl starting to speak Samoru, a Chamorro girl going to Fanyinyi at her grandma, a Chamorro girl making finadeni and Keliguin, a Chamorro girl born and raised in Guahan, a white girl with hazel eyes, a white girl dancing the wobble, a white girl with ancestors in England and Germany, Hungyan. I am a Chamali girl, dancing the wobble, Chamali girl dancing the batsu and the tsa-tsa-tsa, Chamali girl with ancestors from Agate and England, Chamali girl born and raised in Guahan. Just two more poems. They're quick ones. This poem is dedicated to my cousins. My cousin gang of like 20 to 31st cousins. Cousin gang. We chased the Miller Lite. We siphoned into cans of Pepsi with Uncle Ron's shrimp patties. Cousin gang. We patrolled the Teton streets on New Year's Eve, skin sticky with sweat, fingers sticky with Chamorro barbecue and too much lumpia sauce. Styrofoam fiesta plates filled to the brim, soggy and forgotten on the sidewalk. We talk story while the adults empty their beer cans beneath the canopy behind Grandma's house. With an earshot of Chamorro music blasting, we climb up and over the bus stop walls, swing from the concrete pillars next to abandoned, rusted cars, and splay our bodies out on the asphalt, defying the weight of generations. With belly laughter, we pierce the night sky like fireworks. I've got one more poem to say.
next poem I wrote in honor of today's theme of Micronesian joy. It's written in the Chamorro language. All mistakes are my own. There will be mistakes, but I hope to be an example in this moment that it's Mauleknya ti perfectu, Zangin ti tagi is better if it's not perfect than if you don't try. So all mistakes are my own. This is gonna be my first time reading this, and I'm excited to what it might turn into. Gwynethan Micronesia, Micronesian dream. Mengwigwifitsu Micronesia, Mapoti Halam Tano, Mangakanta Ipaluma, Mapoti Tasi Nui Mas Megay na Gwihan, Frescui Hanam, Frescui Airi, Ifamago Onta Dumat Donkulugi Islanyiha, Taima Atnyao, Zandubati, Mengwigwifitsu Micronesia, Sinyat Dumat Donkulu Ifamaguun, Nui Sen Maglof na Mangafa, Gaibula na Gwynethan Maglof sa Hita Numa Homlo Imanautaw, na Homlo Itano, na Homlo Ihano, na Homlo Iairi, Mengwigwifitsu Micronesia, Bumatbaila Imegay na Leklek Zangalaidi San Hilo Itasi, Hobin, Zan Amko, Gaiminekut, Zan Minagos, Latla, Micronesia, Mengwigwifitsu Micronesia, Hita Famagu and Tasi, Hita Famagu and Tano, Mengwigwifitsu Micronesia, Esti Tanota, Mamaila na Tanota, Esti Imamaila na Tanota, Para Imamaila na Famagu Onta, Latla, Micronesia, Situs Maasi. I'll give an extemporaneous translation, which I don't normally do, but it feels right at this time. I am dreaming of Micronesia, the jungle pregnant with singing birds, the ocean pregnant with fish of every size and color, the water, the air, fresh. Our children growing old in their islands without fear. Free. I am dreaming of Micronesia, where our children can grow old with a profound joy in their families, with an abundance of dreams, because we together healed our people, healed our land, healed our waters, healed our air. I am dreaming of Micronesia, where our canoes dance on the surface of our ocean, our youth and our elders profoundly happy, profoundly strong. Live Micronesia. I am dreaming of Micronesia, we the children of the ocean, we the children of the land. I am dreaming of Micronesia. This is our land. It will always be our land. This will continue to be our land. This will continue to be the land of our children to come. Live, Micronesia.
Another round of applause, please, for Arielle. Thank you. So I hope, like me, you guys have been inspired by today's speakers. I also want to go ahead and just acknowledge our speakers again. So thank you, Honorable James Naich, for coming. Thank you. Thank you, Dizia Crisostomo. Please stand up. Thank you, Zea Nauta. And lastly, Arielle. Thank you, Arielle, very much. So thank you guys for coming to this phase of our day today. We invite you to speak to if you want to talk more to the speakers, you can find them, or they might be over at the Best Dressed tent. Arielle has a book there, she can talk to you and sign it if you want, or you can go around and check the other events that are happening. But thank you very much.